Give it up for Jeannine and Matt.
I'm so short. Hey, thanks, you guys, and thanks for being here. I have two confessions. One, that I've been kind of sick and lost my voice, so I apologize if my voice is terrible. And two, both these poems are kind of autobiographical. I grew up in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, which was called America's Secret City, and I was the daughter of a robotic scientist. So the first poem is sad. The second one is funny. Matt is doing the funny one. He's awesome. All right. They do not need rescue. They do not need rescue here in America's secret city, not the robot scientist or his daughter, not the children dying of leukemia quietly in hospitals funded by government grants, uncounted because their numbers might seem damning. Not Oak Ridge itself, where the paper takes hush money from ORNL, and so mysterious events occur without any whisper of explanation, where the schools, churches, and highways are built with a largesse of bombs. The hum in the forest of generators larger than you imagine. The fisherman will tell you not to worry about the catfish. Gives you a healthy glow, they chuckle. Any complaints, stay private. If you knock on the door and offer help, they will not know what you were talking about. They've signed away the lives of their families on government papers. They do not discuss cancer at the breakfast table. They might suffer and die, but they do so in respectable silence. They do not take kindly to outsiders and advice. They do not speak of what they, their parents, their grandparents witnessed in buildings X, Y, or K, documents accusing them of treason for unsealing envelopes or lips. They are truck drivers, janitors, and yes, sometimes scientists. They've signed away their rights for a modest paycheck, for a row of houses starting to crack and show their age, and for this, generations of creeping but unspoken suspicions, the unsettlement, the slow leak from concrete caps, only now starting to escape. And now the lighter side. The robot scientist's daughter in films. The robot scientist's daughter is always beautiful in films, and a neat blonde updo and 50s-style dress. She helps the hero escape. She leads him off the island or planet. She gives him the code to shut down all the robots before they take over the world. The robot scientist's daughter carefully holds on to secrets about her father at the dinner table. She's demure, but she knows her way around a gun rack or a test tube. She sneaks out to rescue prisoners after her father has a few drinks. The robot scientist's daughter must be there to humanize the robot scientist. He is both a protagonist we identify with and a villain we know must fall. If he had no daughter, the camera would have no way to enter his laboratory with a sympathetic eye. Sometimes the robot scientist's daughter pretends to be a robot herself, handing out food efficiently without smudging her makeup. Sometimes she turns out to be a robot all along, implanted with heartwarming but false memories. Sometimes she has a telepathic link to genetically engineered dinosaurs. When she was a child, she had only robots to play games with, mostly hide and seek and chess. This both helped and hurt her socialization. The robot scientist might be named Morbius, while his daughter is named Susan. She will be the downfall, the island crumbling, scientist buried beneath rubble, killer shrews loosed upon the world. Thank you.
Well, that was great. I'm not real big on introducing my songs. I figure if they need explanation, then I probably failed as a songwriter. So for me, this is a great situation to have her basically introduce my song by reading the piece that it was inspired by, and then I don't have to worry about introducing it. But I do want to say one thing, though, is this song is kind of a response to that second poem. Really, all the robot scientist poems that were in the anthology, so it's kind of like from the point of view of a robot scientist father. And since I'm not a father, I had to get a consultant to help me to verify that I was getting the feelings right of what being a parent is. And I think I kind of nailed that, but I didn't get a chance to talk to a robot scientist and verify that part of it. But fortunately, Jeannine happens to be the poet laureate of Redmond, Washington, and there are a bunch of robot scientists over in Redmond, as we all know. And so if it ever goes to film, I think I'll probably be able to find a consultant to help out with that part of it. So. The waves rolling in, the wind in the trees, the wind in the trees in the valley. It's a beautiful place, but there is no escape. So you might as well try to be happy. I wouldn't dream of holding you back. I'm old enough now to know better. But the world can be cruel, it'll swallow you whole, though you follow the rules to the letter. Oh, daughter of mine, you're such a lovely child, you should know you're a robot. I know there's a boy who thinks he's in love, and I know you believe you requite it. But if he saw your heart, such a jumble of parts, well, I doubt that he'd love you despite it. I know that you hope to save your young man, steal him away from the island. But he'll find out the truth, and as soon as it's cool, he'll pack up and head off to China. Oh, daughter of mine, you're such a lovely child. Do you know you're a robot? Feelings are easy, they don't have to be true. I played with some hearts to see what they do. The sorrow you feel was slowly distilled from the tears of a forsaken lover. If I wanted to pet, there's a flag I could set, and your tears would pour out like a gusher. Many the brain has been cut up and strained to find out the secrets of laughter. For whatever it's worth, the sound of your mirth is all I was ever after. Oh, daughter of mine, you're such a lovely child. Don't you know you're a robot? Memory's harder, it's all so complex, but it's simple to fix through the port in your neck. Sometimes the behavior of a willful young lady can make a man lose his composure. But if push comes to shove and I'm all out of love, I can just hit erase and start over. Oh, daughter of mine, you're such a lovely child, but you're only a robot. Spirit's the hardest. I hated the screams when I cut people open to give you their dreams. The waves rolling in, the clouds rolling by, trees in the valley. If you don't like your fate, it is no disgrace. I can enter the code, so you're a happy